This is Akashavani Mangaluru. Dear listeners, in today's Talk in English program now, Dr. Lalitha Devi B., Associate Professor of Physics, Bhandarkars Arts and Science College, Kundapura, will speak on the subject Controlling the Heat, Strategies for Efficient Temperature Management.
Controlling heat is a crucial aspect of various industries and everyday life. As the world grapples with the rising temperatures and the increasing demand for energy efficiency, effective heat management becomes a paramount. In this talk, the significance of controlling heat and innovative strategies to achieve optimal temperature control is discussed. Temperature is a measure of heat. Heat control means controlling or maintaining temperature. Temperature control is a process in which change of temperature of a space or a substance is measured and the passage of heat energy into it or out of it is adjusted to achieve a desired set value. The temperature of an object or space increases when heat energy moves into it, means the average kinetic energy of its atoms increase. The heat energy leaving an object or space lowers its temperature. If in a place or object more energy is received than is lost, its temperature increases. If the amount of energy coming in and going out are exactly the same, the temperature stays constant and we say there is thermal balance or thermal equilibrium. The history of controlling heat dates back to the discovery of fire by early humans. Fire provided warmth during cold nights and protection against predators. As civilizations advanced, so did methods of heat control. Ancient Romans, for example, built hypocausts, which are central heating systems that circulated warm air under the floors of buildings. This could help them to overcome the very cold situations. Similarly, in ancient China, the gang stove system used a raised platform to capture and radiate heat both for cooking and heating. Wind catchers and water fountains were generally used by ancient Indians to keep the house surroundings cool. A temperature controller is a device used to hold a desired temperature at a specified value. The simplest example of a temperature controller is a common thermostat found in homes. A hot water heater uses a thermostat to control the temperature of water and maintain it at a certain preset temperature. Temperature controllers are common in ovens and iron boxes. For example, when a temperature is set for an oven, a controller monitors the actual temperature inside the oven. Sensors measure the actual temperature. This sensed temperature is constantly compared to a user set point. If it falls below the set temperature, it sets a signal to activate the heater to raise the temperature back to the set point. Thermostats are also used in refrigerators. So, if the temperature gets too high, a controller initiates an action to bring the temperature down. Temperature controllers in industry work much the same way they do in common household applications. Now let us consider some issues with the temperature control faced in our daily life. The normal body temperature is around 98.6 degree Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius, but it can vary up or down to 0.9 degree Fahrenheit depending on the time of the day. It also differs slightly from person to person. There are many reasons why a person's body temperature may rise. These include illnesses, medications, and intense physical activities. A body temperature above 100.4 degree Fahrenheit usually indicates fever. Body temperature rises not only when the external temperature increases, but also when the internal temperature rises. It's possible to reduce body heat both externally and internally. Jumping into a cool pool is an example of external cooling, while drinking cold water or iced juice can help reduce body temperature internally. The regular intake of fluids can also prevent dehydration, for dehydration increases body heat. To reduce internal heat, a person can eat fresh fruit and vegetables. Watermelons, cucumbers, and oranges are good choices as they contain a lot of water and can help a person stay hydrated. A region in brain called hypothalamus is responsible for regulating body temperature. It checks the body's current temperature against its normal temperature and then regulates it. When the body is too hot, regulation occurs through sweating to cool it down. When it's too cold, hypothalamus triggers shivering to vomit. An increased body temperature helps the body fight off invading illnesses, which is why a fever is often a sign of getting sick. Simply being outdoors on an extremely hot day can be enough to cause heat exhaustion or heat stroke. This is of particular concern around the world with the growing impact of rising temperatures due to climate change. According to a climate report, the combined land and sea temperature has been rising at an average rate of 0.08 degrees Celsius per decade for nearly 150 years. Temperature controllers are needed in any situation requiring a given temperature be kept stable. This can be in a situation where an object is required to be heated, cooled, or both, and to remain the target temperature regardless of changing environment around it. The control action taken by a temperature controller depends on the type of controller. For instance, if the controller is an on-off control, the controller decides if the output needs to be turned on, turned off, or left in its present state. Such devices are known as switching devices. Controlling thermal transport by switching devices is challenging due to rapidly changing materials' thermal properties. Researchers demonstrated that a thermal switch can be made from lead zirconium oxide operated with a small voltage. The material can be changed from anti-ferroelectric to ferroelectric with an electric field that also dramatically changes the thermal properties. This switch changes the thermal transport by a factor of 2 in one direction, creating a useful thermal switch. Now let's know the heat control in laptops and mobile phones, which are part and parcel of our daily life. Heat control in laptops and mobile phones is a critical aspect of ensuring optimal performance, longevity, and user safety. As these devices become more powerful and compact, managing heat generated by their internal components becomes increasingly challenging. While designing, device manufacturers invest in sophisticated thermal design to dissipate heat efficiently. This includes the design of the internal layout, placement of components, and the use of materials with good thermal conductivity. Laptops often include active cooling systems such as fans to enhance heat dissipation. Some high-end laptops may feature advanced cooling solutions including liquid cooling to handle more demanding tasks. Thermal monitoring and management of these devices. Both laptops and mobile phones incorporate thermal sensors to monitor the temperature of various components. When temperatures rise beyond predefined thresholds, the device activates mechanisms to mitigate heat. Dynamic voltage and frequency scaling (DVFS) is a technique used to adjust voltage and frequency of the processor based on workload, helping to manage heat production during the demanding tasks. Manufacturers optimize hardware components for energy efficiency and reduced heat generation. This includes using low power consuming processors and graphic cards. Advancements in chip manufacturing technology, such as smaller nanometer processors, contribute to reduced power consumption and heat generation. Another option is software optimization. Operating systems and device drivers play a role in heat management. Optimized software can help regulate power usage and prevent unnecessary heating. Along with these, users may be encouraged to use their devices in well ventilated areas and avoiding blocking air vents so that better heat dissipation is possible. Manufacturers also often provide power profiles or modes that users can select based on their usage patterns, allowing for customized performance and thermal management. There are several things that could lead to mobile phone overheating. Leaving it in direct sunlight or an uncomfortably warm space like a car is one of the most common causes behind a phone's internal temperature rising. Another potential cause is overcharging, which happens when the phone is left on charger even after it has reached 100%. Whatever the reason behind our phone overheating, it's best for our phone to stay at a lower temperature. Overheating can cause a cell phone to seriously reduce performance, battery degradation, decreased lifespan of the device, melt the CPU in the mobile phone. In a worst scenario, it can cause an explosion also. There is also a chance that the phone will not restart if it was forced to shut down due to overheating. Here is what to do to help cool things down. Direct sunlight on phone can be avoided. Screen brightness can be lowered. A manufacturer approved charger can be used. By turning off unused apps on phone, assist in power saving and reduce the overheating. Also, apps to be kept updated. Many app updates include bug fixes that can improve the efficiency of cell phones. Controlling the heat is a multifaceted challenge for various sectors. In contrast to achievements in electrical conduction, active control of heat transfer is much more challenging. As technology advances and the world seeks sustainable solutions, innovative strategies for heat management are essential. Embracing these innovations will not only enhance the performance and longevity of equipment but also contribute to global efforts in mitigating climate change due to carbon emission. Energy saved is energy generated.
Dear listeners, that was the talk Controlling the Heat Strategies for Efficient Temperature Management, delivered by Dr. Lalitha Devi B. This talk came to you from the studios of Akashvani Mangaluru.